The death of Earth's leader unleashed humanity's fury across the galaxy. The galaxy had always looked down on Earth. To many, it was a small, weak planet at the edge of space. Humans were clever, yes, but compared to the powerful empires of the Zetherians, the Vorlax, and the Krellons, they were almost invisible. Yet humans had survived where others had failed. They built ships, created weapons, and learned to fight. They had leaders who dreamed of more than survival. They dreamed of respect. Daniel Carter was one such leader. He was calm, wise, and always thinking 3 steps ahead. The people of Earth trusted him because he cared, not for glory, not for power, but for the safety of every human being. Under his guidance, humans had made careful alliances with friendly alien races, learned new technologies, and even stopped some wars before they started. Daniel was not just a politician, he was a symbol of hope. The Galactic Council had called a summit to discuss trade, borders, and new settlements. Daniel traveled to the capital of the Zandari Empire, a shining city of metal towers and floating streets. Alongside him were Earth's diplomats, soldiers, and a few scientists. Among them was Laura Bennett, a young diplomat who had worked under Daniel for 3 years. She admired him deeply. His calm voice had always a way of making problems feel smaller, and his presence made humans feel stronger, even in the halls of the galaxy's most powerful rulers. The summit hall was enormous. Thousands of representatives from hundreds of species filled the room. The ceiling reflected the stars outside like a window to infinity. Aliens of every shape and color whispered, watched, and calculated. Humans were a small group at the front. Some aliens sneered. Many ignored them. Humans were expected to be quiet observers. Daniel stepped forward. His voice was strong but gentle. "Peace is not weakness," he said. "Strength comes from unity and trust. Humans are ready to contribute to the galaxy, to work with every race, and to honor agreements." There were polite nods. Some aliens smiled, but behind some faces, there were sneers. The Zetherians, in particular, were open about their disdain. Their long, spiny fingers tapped against the crystal table. They had wanted Daniel gone for years. His wisdom, his growing influence, and his success with humans were inconvenient for them. No one saw the assassin at first. He moved like a shadow, slipping through the crowd unnoticed. Daniel finished his speech and began to walk back to his seat. Laura walked beside him, her heart full of pride and relief. She felt safe with him, even in this crowded room. Then the sound came, a sharp crack, like a whip. Daniel froze. His eyes widened. The assassin had fired a small but deadly weapon. The shot hit him in the chest. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. Humans gasped. Aliens screamed. Some tried to move, but they could not reach him in time. Daniel Carter collapsed. His hands fell to the floor. His face showed surprise and pain. Laura ran to him, tears already forming in her eyes. "No!" "Daniel!" she screamed. Other humans followed, trying to shield him, but it was too late. The assassin did not flee. He raised his hand, signaling something to the Zetherians nearby. They did not stop him. Instead, they watched, smiling faintly. In that moment, the Hall of Peace became a place of horror. Human soldiers grabbed the assassin, but he fought like a wild animal. He was strong, fast, and well-trained, yet he could not escape the combined force of the human guards. When they finally subdued him, the damage was done. Daniel Carter was dead. Laura could not believe it. She dropped to her knees beside his body. His eyes were still open, staring at the ceiling, as if he could not believe this was happening either. Around her, humans screamed, shouted, and cried. Some ran for the exits, trying to call for backup. Others stayed, frozen in shock. The Galactic Council reacted differently. They were silent at first, unsure what to do. Then some members began murmuring, some even laughing quietly. They thought humans would be weak, that they would beg for peace or show fear. Some aliens whispered, "They are small. They cannot respond." But they did not see the fire in human hearts. They did not see the fury that had been sleeping quietly for centuries. Humans had been underestimated for too long. Laura stood slowly. Her hands were trembling, but her eyes burned with determination. She looked at the assassin, then at the Zytharians, then back at her people. "We will not forget this," she said. Her voice was steady, louder than the cries around her. "We will not forgive this. Humanity will not be silent." In the days following Daniel's death, Earth went into mourning. Flags flew at half-mast. Messages of sorrow poured in from friendly alien races, but the words of mockery from the Council stung more deeply. The humans had lost a leader, but they had not lost their minds. Grief was turning into anger, and anger was sharpening into action. At NASA Command Center, General Aaron Wells gathered the top human military leaders. Among them were Captain Lucas Miller, a fleet commander, and Colonel Jessica Lee, an expert strategist. They studied the reports, watched the surveillance from the summit, and reviewed the assassins' movements. Every detail mattered. "They think this is the end of us," General Wells said. His voice was hard, filled with a mix of sadness and rage. "They think the death of Daniel Carter will make humans weak. They are wrong." The Lucas Miller slammed his fist on the table. "We have ships, we have weapons, and we have the brains to use them. Daniel's death is not the end. It is the beginning." Colonel Lee nodded. "The galaxy has always underestimated humans. Now it will see what we can do when we are pushed too far." Meanwhile, Laura Bennett began gathering intelligence. She contacted human diplomats on other planets, collecting information about the alien factions that had supported the assassination. Every word, every secret, every rumor mattered. Humans were small, but they could be deadly when united. Back on Earth, scientists worked day and night. Olivia Grant, a young genius in weapon design, reviewed new prototypes of energy weapons and defensive shields. "We need to be ready," she told her team. "If the galaxy thinks we will cower, they are very wrong." Daniel believed in peace, but he also believed we must be ready for war if it comes to us. The people of Earth watched the news with anger and disbelief. Social media was filled with images of Daniel Carter, of the summit hall in chaos, and of humans swearing they would not be weak. Children asked questions, parents cried, and everyone felt a part of the same moment of grief. The leader they had trusted, the man who had always promised safety and guidance, was gone. But humans were not alone in their grief. Across friendly alien worlds, allies expressed their sorrow and concern. Some offered aid, others warned that the Council would move quickly to prevent retaliation. Humans listened, nodded, but did not waver. Laura Bennett stood before a map of the galaxy in her office. Star systems glowed, ships moved, and data streamed in. She put her hand on the map, tracing a line from Earth to the nearest Zytharian colonies. "They think they can start this war, and we will not answer," she whispered. "They will see the strength of humanity. They will see what we can do when we fight for our own." The galaxy might have thought humans were weak, but the fire of revenge, justice, and survival was now alive in every heart on Earth. Families, soldiers, scientists, and leaders all shared the same quiet understanding. The death of Daniel Carter was not just a tragedy, it was the spark that would awaken humanity's fury. That fury would not be easy to contain. The galaxy had laughed at humans for centuries, called them fragile and slow. But Earth had grown in secret. Humans had technology, intelligence, and courage. The Council and alien empires had never seen what humans could do when united. And now, they would. For Daniel Carter, for the future of Earth, and for the pride of humanity. The people of Earth would rise. The galaxy would remember that even the smallest planet, underestimated and ignored, could unleash a storm powerful enough to shake the stars themselves. Laura Bennett closed her eyes for a moment, taking a deep breath. She thought of Daniel, of his calm voice, of his faith in humans. "We will not fail," she promised aloud. "We will carry your vision, and we will make them regret ever underestimating us." The first whispers of human fury were beginning to spread. Quiet at first, almost invisible, but like a wildfire, it would grow. And soon, the galaxy would see that humans were no longer weak. The death of their leader had started something unstoppable. The galaxy's mockery had lit the flame. The humans of Earth were ready to burn. The death of Daniel Carter left a heavy silence over Earth. Cities were quiet as people mourned, but behind closed doors, humans were planning. They had been underestimated for centuries, but now the galaxy would see their true strength. Laura Bennett, now carrying the responsibility of diplomacy, worked tirelessly with Earth's remaining leaders. She held meetings in secure rooms, discussing every detail of the summit, every alien faction, and every weakness they could exploit. "They think we will beg for mercy," she said. "They are wrong. They have no idea what humans can do." In the military command center, General Aaron Wells stood in front of a holographic map of the galaxy. Stars glowed in different colors, representing planets, fleets, and bases. "We need to move carefully," he said to his team of commanders. "The galaxy will be watching, expecting fear. But we will give them something they do not expect: precision, intelligence, and speed." Captain Lucas Miller, a seasoned fleet commander, stepped forward. "Our ships are ready. Our pilots are trained. But we need new strategies. The aliens have power, yes, but they underestimate our thinking. That is our weapon." Colonel Jessica Lee, a strategist who had studied alien behavior for years, nodded. "We will strike first, but carefully. No reckless attacks. Every move must be planned. Daniel would want us to be smart, not just angry." Meanwhile, scientists worked tirelessly in labs across Earth. Olivia Grant led a team of engineers and physicists. Their goal was clear: to design weapons and shields humans had never used before. Energy-based weapons, advanced cloaking devices, and defense systems were built in secrecy. "The galaxy sees humans as weak," Olivia said, "but we have the brains to fight, the technology to win, and the courage to survive. They will regret laughing at us." Young engineers, students, and volunteers worked day and night. Factories produced small, fast-attack ships, while hidden research stations created defensive grids around key planets. Every detail mattered. Humans were small, but they could strike where the enemy least expected. Laura coordinated with humans stationed on friendly planets. They sent secret messages asking for support, supplies, and intelligence about the alien fleets. Some alien races were shocked by the boldness of Earth's actions. They had expected fear, tears, and helplessness. Instead, humans were organized, silent and deadly in their planning. As Earth prepared, the Galactic Council continued to mock them. "The humans are grieving," one alien diplomat sneered. They cannot do anything. They are weak and slow. The words reached Earth, and instead of fear, they fueled anger. Every insult, every laugh, became a reason to fight. On one of the hidden space stations, Ethan Hughes, an elite fleet commander, trained a special team. They practiced boarding enemy ships, disabling systems, and precise strikes. "We will be the shadow they cannot see," he told them. "We will hit fast, hit smart, and disappear before they know what happened. Daniel would be proud of every one of you." Ethan's team was young but fearless. Men and women from Earth, trained in different fields, pilots, engineers, combat specialists, worked together. Their unity was strong, and their determination was stronger. They knew the galaxy had laughed at humans for too long. That would end soon. Meanwhile, Laura Bennett discovered that the Zytherians were planning to expand their influence into systems close to Earth. The aliens were confident, believing humans were paralyzed by grief. Laura reported to the Council on Earth. "This is our opportunity," she said. "We will strike before they realize we are ready." The plan was simple but daring. Humans would launch a limited strike, showing power without revealing all of Earth's capabilities. The first target would be a Zytherian fleet near the Andor system. The humans would disable key ships, capture technology, and make it clear that Earth was no longer weak. The commanders prepared their fleets in secret. Ships were hidden behind asteroid fields and cloaked with advanced technology. Pilots ran simulations over and over, learning every maneuver, every tactic, every angle. Every detail mattered. Humans could not fail. In the labs, Olivia Grant and her team tested weapons repeatedly. Energy beams that could pierce alien shields, devices that could scramble enemy communications, and rapid-fire systems that can overwhelm even the strongest ships. "We will be smarter than they expect," Olivia said. "We will be stronger than they imagine. And we will be ready when the time comes." Back on Earth, civilians helped in small ways. Factories produced parts, technicians repaired ships, and communication networks worked to keep Earth connected to every hidden fleet. Everyone understood that the galaxy had laughed at them, and now everyone wanted to show that humans were not to be mocked. As preparations continued, the human leaders met in a secure room. "We will not strike blindly," General Wells said. "Every attack must have a purpose. Every action must send a message. Never underestimate humans." Laura nodded. "We are not just fighting for revenge. We are fighting for respect." Daniel believed in peace, but he also believed humans must be ready to protect themselves. "This is our moment." Lucas Miller added, "The Zytherians think they are untouchable. They will learn that humans are patient, clever, and united. When we strike, it will be precise, and it will be deadly." Ethan Hughes stood quietly in the corner. His eyes were fixed on the star map. "We have trained, we have built, and we have learned. The galaxy thinks we are weak. They do not know the courage of humans. They will see it soon." In secret, humans also studied alien behavior. Every faction had weaknesses, patterns, and vulnerabilities. Analysts worked day and night to predict movements, alliances, and reactions. Every small advantage would be used. Every mistake of the enemy would be exploited. Humans had learned that strength was not just in weapons. It was in intelligence, strategy, and unity. The first step of their plan was ready. Small fleets, invisible to the eyes of the galaxy, would approach the Zytherian fleet quietly. Laura had sent messages to allies to avoid detection. Olivia's weapons were loaded and ready. Ethan's strike teams were prepared to board enemy ships if needed. As the humans watched the stars from Earth, Hope and determination replaced grief. The memory of Daniel Carter was their guide, his vision their strategy. They were no longer just a planet to be laughed at. They were a force to be reckoned with. In the quiet of the command room, Laura spoke to the leaders. We cannot show weakness. We cannot hesitate. The galaxy thinks we are small. Let us show them that we are strong, united, and clever. Let us remind them why humans survive, no matter the odds. The days passed. Humans worked tirelessly, preparing, training, and planning. Ships moved quietly through hidden corridors, weapons were tested repeatedly, and every person played a role. Civilians, soldiers, scientists, and diplomats all were part of the same effort. Every human understood the stakes. The galaxy had laughed at them, but now humans were ready to strike back. Finally, the moment came to make the first move. The Scytherian fleet was in position, confident that humans would do nothing. They did not see the small, invisible fleets approaching through the asteroid fields. They did not see the cloaked ships ready to strike. They did not know that humans were no longer afraid. Ethan Hughes gave the command. Prepare for first contact. Remember your training. Stay focused. Move quickly, move smart, and move together. For Daniel. For Earth. The humans of Earth had waited long enough. Their grief had turned into determination, and their determination into action. The galaxy had underestimated them for centuries. That would end tonight. The first strike of humanity was about to begin. The Zetherians, confident and arrogant, had no idea what was coming. Humans would show them that weakness was only an illusion, and that intelligence, courage, and unity could defeat even the strongest opponent. The fury of Earth had awakened. The galaxy would never be the same. The Zetherian fleet floated in space, shining with polished armor and glowing energy lines. Their commanders believed humans were weak and would do nothing after the death of Daniel Carter. They were wrong. Hidden behind a dense asteroid belt, the first human strike fleet waited. Ships of all sizes, fast and quiet, drifted in silence. The pilots were tense but ready. They had trained for this moment for months. Every ship, every weapon, every crew member was prepared for precision. Humans would strike fast and smart, leaving no doubt about their strength. Ethan Hughes stood on the command bridge of the lead ship, the Liberty, his eyes scanning the holographic map of the Zetherian fleet. "Remember," he said to his team, "we do not fight recklessly. We hit weak points, capture what we can, and vanish before they can respond. Move together. Move smart. Humanity is watching. A galaxy is watching. Make it count." Captain Lucas Miller, piloting a small attack cruiser, nodded. "We've trained for this. Every pilot knows their role. No mistakes. We strike clean. We strike fast. And we leave them shocked." Colonel Jessica Lee, coordinating the strike from the main command, checked every system. Communications were encrypted. Shields were boosted, weapons calibrated. Remember, the first strike is as much about showing them our strength as it is about winning. They must understand humans cannot be underestimated. Laura Bennett, overseeing diplomatic monitoring, transmitted messages to friendly alien observers. Stay hidden. Watch silently. Report everything. Humans are showing the galaxy they are not weak. Olivia Grant made a final check on the new weapons systems. The energy cannons, cloaking disruptors, and rapid-fire plasma launchers had never been used before in battle. If they think humans are weak, they will be surprised. Big surprise. The asteroid belt began to thin, revealing the Scytherian fleet in all its arrogance. Their ships were large, slow, and powerful. The commanders waved their hands in mock salute. unaware of the shadows moving around them. Ethan Hughes gave the signal. The human fleet moved like ghosts. Small ships shot out from hiding, cloaked and nearly invisible. Energy disruptors disabled the Zetherian sensor arrays silently. Before the Zetherians could react, humans were inside their fleet. The first shots hit, not random, not wild, but precise. Energy beams struck weak points in the Zetherian armor. Shields overloaded. Engines faltered. Some ships exploded silently as humans disabled them from the inside. The fleet commanders were stunned. "What is this?" one yelled. "How are they here? How are they moving so fast?" Lucas Miller's cruiser targeted a large Scytherian battleship. With careful precision, he fired plasma shots at engine ports. The ship shuddered and went dark. Panic spread across the Scytherian ranks. "Humans cannot do this. This is impossible." Meanwhile, Ethan Hughes led a boarding team onto a critical Scytherian command ship. They moved silently through airlocks, using alien technology against its owners. The team was fast, coordinated, and smart. They seized control of the ship, disabled weapons, and transmitted messages back to Earth. On Earth, screens lit up with live feeds. Civilians, soldiers, and scientists watched in awe. "They did it," Olivia Grant whispered. "Humans are showing the galaxy that we are not weak." The Scytherians tried to respond, but it was too late. Humans had disrupted their communications. Ships could not coordinate. Fear spread quickly. Aliens who had laughed at humans now scrambled in confusion. Their fleet, once confident, was crumbling. Laura Bennett monitored the battle, her hands tight on the console. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They will understand. Humans will not be mocked again." Small human attack teams moved through the Zetherian fleet like shadows. Ships were disabled, prisoners taken, and technology captured. Humans were careful. They wanted to show strength, not destroy unnecessarily. Each move was a statement. Earth was powerful, intelligent, and united. Back on the Liberty, Ethan Hughes served the battlefield. "Look at them panic," he said quietly. "They expected weakness, and they found power. They will remember this day." The Scytherian admirals called for reinforcements, but the humans had already left the fleet's central area. Their cloaking devices, tested for months, made them invisible to Scytherian sensors. One moment, they were in the middle of the fleet. The next, they were gone. Colonel Jessica Lee smiled. "They cannot catch what they cannot see. Humans have the advantage of speed, skill, and intelligence. The galaxy thinks they are strong, but humans are smarter than they know." On Earth, civilians celebrated quietly. The news spread quickly. Humans had struck back. They had shown they were not helpless. Daniel Carter's death had sparked anger, and that anger had become action. The galaxy had laughed, but humans had answered with precision and courage. The Zetherians retreated, battered and shocked. Their fleet was damaged, some ships lost and morale shattered. They sent messages to the Galactic Council, warning that humans were dangerous. The Council, hearing these reports, was stunned. No one had expected this. In secret, humans celebrated too. Ethan Hughes, Lucas Miller, and the other commanders gathered on the Liberty's bridge. "This is only the first step," Ethan said. "We have shown them strength. We have shown them intelligence. But we must continue. The galaxy will learn that humans are not weak. They cannot ignore us anymore." Olivia Grant updated the weapons for the next strike. "We have captured Scytherian technology," she explained. "This will help us improve our systems. We are learning faster than they expect. Humans are unstoppable when united." Laura Bennett sent messages to allies across friendly systems. "The humans of Earth have shown their power," she wrote. "We are no longer weak. We demand respect. Let the galaxy know that we will not be underestimated." Meanwhile, the captured Zetherian commanders were surprised by the human strategy. They had expected emotion, rage, and mistakes. Instead, humans were calm, precise, and clever. Every move had purpose. Every attack had reason. The aliens realized they had underestimated humanity for too long. Ethan Hughes reviewed the battle logs. "They thought grief would make us weak," he said. "They were wrong. Our strength comes from more than weapons. It comes from intelligence, courage, and unity. Humans fight differently because we think differently. They will not forget this." On Earth, General Wells spoke to the team. "This is the moment we have prepared for. The galaxy now knows that humans are not to be ignored. We will continue to strike with precision. We will continue to surprise. And we will ensure that our enemies respect us." Civilians, too, understood the importance of the first strike. The memory of Daniel Carter, the grief of loss, and the anger at being mocked became a driving force. Humans were no longer passive. They were a force capable of changing the galaxy. Laura Bennett looked at the stars and thought of Daniel. "We have taken the first step," she whispered. "The galaxy will know that humanity is not to be underestimated. This is only the beginning. They will see what we can do when we fight for justice and for survival." The Zetherians regrouped, but fear lingered. They realized that humans were unpredictable, clever, and united. They had faced something they had never faced before. A small planet, underestimated and mocked, had struck with precision and intelligence. Ethan Hughes prepared the fleet for the next phase. "We do not attack blindly," he said. "We study, we learn, and we strike again when the time is right." The galaxy thinks they know humans. They do not. Olivia Grant continued to improve weapons. "Every strike teaches us something," she said. "Every captured ship, every disabled system makes us stronger. They will not see our full strength until it is too late." The human fleet returned to hiding, their mission complete. Damage was minimal. Ships were intact. Morale was high. Humans had proven something vital, that they could fight with intelligence, strategy, and courage. The galaxy had laughed, but now humans were respected and feared. Laura Bennett sent a final message to allies. "Humanity has begun its fight," she wrote. "We are not weak, we are not passive. The galaxy will remember Earth, and they will remember that humans are not to be underestimated." The first strike of humanity had changed everything. The Zetherians would think twice before mocking Earth again. Other alien races began to watch with caution. Humans, small but united, had shown that their grief had become strength, their sorrow had become action, and their anger had become precision. The galaxy was waking up to a new reality. Humans were no longer weak. They were clever, united, and unstoppable when provoked. The death of Daniel Carter had ignited a fire that could not be put out, and this fire was only beginning. The galaxy had changed. Word of the human strike spread faster than light. Aliens who had laughed at Earth, who had mocked humans as weak, now watched with caution, fear, and curiosity. The Zetherians, once arrogant, sent messages of alarm. The Galactic Council scrambled, realizing they had underestimated a species they thought small and helpless. On Earth, the mood was different. Humans were no longer mourning. They were determined. They were proud. Daniel Carter's death had sparked a fire that could not be put out. Laura Bennett stood in the command room, looking at star maps and reports. She traced the paths of alien fleets, the movements of their ships, and the systems they controlled. "They thought we would do nothing," she said softly. "They were wrong. The galaxy is learning what humanity can do." General Aaron Wells nodded. "This is only the beginning. We have shown strength, intelligence, and courage. But we need more than one strike. We need to show them humans are united, that we are not afraid, and that we will defend ourselves no matter the cost." Captain Lucas Miller, fresh from the first strike mission, smiled. "The fleets are ready. The pilots are trained. Every ship is in position. The galaxy will soon see that humans are clever, fast, and precise." Colonel Jessica Lee added, "We strike carefully. We do not waste resources. Every move, every attack must show intelligence and strategy. Humans do not fight like others. We strike where it hurts. We disrupt their plans, and we disappear before they can respond. That is why we win." Meanwhile, Olivia Grant worked in the labs. The captured Zetherian technology allowed humans to improve their weapons faster than ever. Shields were stronger, energy cannons were more powerful, and cloaking devices were refined. "We are learning faster than they know," she said. "By the time they understand our strength, we will be even stronger." The first human strike had been a shock. The Zytherians had lost ships, technology, and morale. Other alien empires began to fear the humans. Reports came from the Vorlax, the Krellons, and other species. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and united. The idea of a small, weak planet had been shattered. Laura Bennett met with alien diplomats on neutral planets. She made it clear that humans did not seek unnecessary war. "We want peace," she said, "but we will not allow our leaders, our people, or our planet to be threatened. The galaxy must respect humanity. We are no longer weak. We are intelligent, brave, and united." In the meantime, Ethan Hughes prepared another strike. Small, fast fleets would target critical alien supply lines and communication stations. Humans had learned from the first strike. They would continue to use stealth, intelligence, and precision. Every move sent a message. Earth was no longer passive. The first strike had taught humans much about the Zytherians. They knew how the aliens communicated, how their ships responded, and how they thought. Humans used this knowledge in every plan. Every attack was smarter than the last, every maneuver more precise. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Back on Earth, civilians watched news feeds with pride. Factories produced parts for new ships, technicians repaired older ones, and communication networks kept every fleet connected. Humans were united across the planet. Every person, from children to scientists, understood the importance of the moment. Earth was no longer a minor player. The next strike began quietly. Humans approached Vorlac-controlled systems. Ships moved through asteroid belts, cloaked and silent. Energy disruptors disabled enemy sensors. When the Vorlax noticed, it was already too late. Their supply lines were destroyed, their communications scrambled, and their fleets confused. Ethan Hughes led a boarding mission on a Vorlac flagship. His team moved fast, disabling weapons and taking control of key systems. The Vorlac crew was shocked. They had expected humans to be slow, emotional, and weak. Instead, humans were precise, calculated, and efficient. Laura Bennett coordinated from the command center. She sent messages to neutral alien worlds. Humans act only to protect themselves. We are intelligent, strong, and united. Respect Earth or face consequences. The message spread quickly, creating a mixture of fear and respect. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Alien diplomats argued. Some wanted to punish humans for their strikes, but others advised caution. Humans were no longer predictable. They were intelligent, resourceful, and deadly when provoked. The Council realized that Earth could no longer be ignored or controlled. On Earth, General Wells spoke to the leaders and pilots. Every strike teaches us more. Every battle strengthens us. We fight not out of anger alone, but out of intelligence and unity. The galaxy must understand that humans are strong in every way, in strategy, courage, and teamwork. Captain Lucas Miller smiled at the fleet. They called us weak. They called us slow. But now they know humans are unstoppable when we act together. Every ship, every pilot, every weapon is part of a greater plan. The galaxy will learn to respect us. Colonel Jessica Lee added, humans fight differently because we think differently. We do not panic. We plan, we act, and we adapt. The galaxy has never faced an enemy like this. They will not forget the name Earth. Meanwhile, Olivia Grant prepared new weapons for the next phase. Human ships now had shields that could resist Zytherian energy beams, energy cannons that could pierce Vorlak armor, and cloaking systems more advanced than anything the aliens had seen. We are improving faster than they imagine, she said. They will never know what hit them until it is too late. The strikes continued. Humans hit critical points in alien fleets, supply chains, and communication hubs. The galaxy began to fear humans not only for their technology, but for their intelligence and strategy. Humans did not waste resources. They did not attack recklessly. They acted like a single organism, every move coordinated, every strike calculated. Laura Bennett worked tirelessly, ensuring humans maintained leverage in every negotiation. She met with alien leaders explaining humanity's position. We do not seek war unnecessarily, she said. We seek respect. The death of our leader taught us that we cannot be weak. We act to protect ourselves and our planet, respect Earth, or face consequences. The message spread quickly. Alien worlds began to approach humans cautiously. They studied Earth's strategies, ships, and people. Humans had transformed from a minor, ignored species into a respected and feared force. Ethan Hughes led a final major strike against a Zytherian command system. Humans used every advantage they had: cloaking, energy disruptors, precision strikes, and captured alien technology. The Zytherians were defeated without human losses. The system was taken, and critical intelligence was captured. Humans had demonstrated that they were not only capable of defense, but of precise, unstoppable offense. On Earth, celebrations were quiet but strong. Humans had proven their worth. They had shown that intelligence, courage, and unity could overcome even the largest and strongest enemies. The people remembered Daniel Carter not with grief alone, but with pride. His vision had guided humanity through its darkest hour. Laura Bennett stood before the Galactic Council via communication link. She spoke firmly, clearly, and without fear. Earth has been patient. Earth has been attacked, mocked, and underestimated. But we have acted, and we have shown our strength. We demand respect. Humanity will no longer be ignored. Any action against us will have consequences. The council fell silent. Humans had spoken with power, backed by results. Alien diplomats realized that Earth had grown, not through arrogance, but through intelligence, courage, and unity. General Wells addressed the people of Earth. The galaxy has learned an important lesson. Humans are strong, clever, and united. We fight with intelligence, precision, and courage. We honor the memory of Daniel Carter by proving that humanity cannot be underestimated. Captain Lucas Miller added, "This is only the beginning. Earth will continue to grow stronger. We will protect our people, defend our planet, and ensure the galaxy respects humanity. We are no longer weak, and we never will be." Colonel Jessica Lee nodded. The galaxy has seen the first phase of human strength. Every alien empire will think twice before mocking us again. The death of Daniel Carter has united humanity and shown that even the smallest planet can change the course of the galaxy. The people of Earth, the soldiers, the scientists, the diplomats, and the leaders all shared the same understanding. Humans were no longer passive. They were united, intelligent, and capable of incredible strength. Laura Bennett looked at the stars and whispered, "The galaxy will remember us. We are humans. We are strong. We are united. We will not be underestimated." The galaxy had been transformed. Humans had risen from grief to action, from weakness to power. The death of their leader had sparked a fire that no alien could ignore. Humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome fear, mockery, and power. Earth was no longer just a planet at the edge of the galaxy. It was a force to be respected, feared, and honored. Humanity had awakened, and the stars themselves seemed to shine differently, aware that humans had arrived. And in every system, every fleet, and every council, one truth became clear: never underestimate humans. The fire of humanity, born from grief and rage, now burned across the galaxy, and this fire would never be extinguished.